When Emma first brought up the idea of an open marriage, I was blindsided. We had been married for 7 years, and while things weren't perfect, I believed our bond was strong. But she said she wanted freedom, claiming that exploring outside the marriage could make our connection even stronger. I wasn't convinced, but she was persistent. After weeks of long talks and arguments, I reluctantly agreed, hoping it was just a phase. At first, we set rules: transparency, protection, and always putting each other first. I didn't act on the arrangement myself. I wasn't comfortable with it. But Emma wasted no time. Within days, she was going out late, dressing differently, and texting constantly. I tried to be understanding, but deep down, I was starting to feel pushed aside. I told myself that as long as she was honest, I could manage. But the honesty faded quickly. Emma started lying about where she was going. I'd find wine glasses in the sink when I hadn't been home. She became defensive and secretive. I knew something was wrong, but I kept quiet, afraid of losing her completely. Then one night, she came home acting strange. She avoided kissing me and refused to be intimate. A few days later, I noticed painful sores on myself. Confused and worried, I went to the doctor. The tests came back. I had an STD. My stomach dropped. That was the moment everything inside me turned cold. I confronted her. At first, she denied everything. But when I showed her the results, she broke down. She admitted that she had stopped using protection with one of the men she was seeing. She sobbed and begged for forgiveness. She said it was a mistake, that she got caught up in the excitement. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just told her that things would never be the same again. From that moment on, I stopped trying. I stopped caring. I started planning. I wanted her to understand the damage she caused, not just the physical pain but the emotional betrayal. I wasn't going to scream or throw her out. I was going to make sure everyone knew who she had become. Our anniversary was coming up. Every year, we had dinner with her family. Her parents, her 2 sisters, and their spouses. She insisted we still go, as if pretending would somehow fix what was broken. I agreed. I told her I'd be there, supportive as ever. Inside, I was preparing something she would never forget. I gathered every screenshot, every text she accidentally left open on our shared tablet, every doctor's note, and a written timeline of what she had done. I put it all into a neat folder and brought it with me to the dinner. I rehearsed what I was going to say, and I stayed calm. That night, we arrived at her parents' house. Everyone was cheerful. Emma smiled like nothing was wrong. She reached for my hand under the table, but I pulled away. She didn't seem to notice. Halfway through dinner, as her father raised a toast to long and loving marriages, I stood up. I said I had something to share, something important. Emma looked confused, then worried. I pulled out the folder and placed it on the table. I began to speak slowly, clearly. I told them how Emma had convinced me to open our marriage. I told them about the lies, the broken promises, and the disease she gave me. I watched her face turn pale. Her mother gasped. Her sisters looked horrified. Emma started crying, begging me to stop. But I didn't. I read out one of the texts she had sent to her affair partner. He's too boring to notice. I can't stop thinking about your hands. Her father stood up and told me to leave it alone, but I kept going. Everyone needed to know the truth. When I was done, I placed the folder back down and calmly sat. No one spoke. Emma was shaking. Her father eventually stood up and told her how ashamed he was. Her mother left the table crying. I looked Emma in the eye and said, "You wanted freedom. Now you're free." I walked out of that dinner and never looked.